Okay.
Welcome along to the Big Idea Show. Today I'm with Cathy Sugden.
Woohoo!
Hello.
Hi, Lou.
Hello. Thank you for joining me.
You're very welcome.
For our chat today about what horse behaviour can teach us about human leadership, right?
That's correct. It's a lot.
It is. It's a big topic
Yeah.
off the back of your TEDx talk.
Yeah.
So we're going to roll the titles and we'll be back in a second. Cathy, hello.
Hello, Lou.
It's great to have you in the hot seat.
Oh, that's so nice of you to invite me. Thank you.
So, today we're talking about leadership, and your talk obviously touched a lot on leadership. So I thought, who better person to get for the first episode for the month on the topic? And I really like the fact that it's kind of something out of most people's normal context, like horse behaviour.
Yeah.
But we're going to be applying it, and from everything I've heard from you, it's totally topical and really interesting and really insightful.
Oh, thank you very much.
For those that don't know you, do you want to give us a very brief overview of what you do?
What I actually do is I connect the human with the horse, help the human with their emotional state, because we have to be emotionally present when we're dealing with horses. And the key thing is to understand what motivates horses, and that's what most people don't know, including me. So I do know it now, but in the beginning, that was the big thing that was missing for me. Once we understand what motivates our individual horse, because not all horses are motivated by the same thing, just the same as humans, then life gets really a lot easier.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is good. Right. So we're going to be delving into that a little bit more. But
cool.
First, we've got some quick fire questions. Remember to get them this time. Okay. So, quick fire. Are you ready?
Yeah.
What is the first animal that comes to mind when I say leader?
Dog.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Most important quality in a leader?
Patience.
Okay. First leader in history that comes to mind?
In history. Oh, God. That's a horrible one. I would say, well, maybe Cleopatra.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, a long time ago.
Nice, good one. Girl power.
Yeah.
Most inspiring leader you've personally had? Someone who's led you?
Who's led me? I have to say that would be Mr. Pat Pirelli.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who's that? Is that
Mr. Pat Pirelli is the guy who I learned a lot, most of my work with natural horsemen. Pat Pirelli is a natural horseman. He's a master teacher, and he would be the first person that I learned a lot from. Okay. Most of what I learned from him.
Okay, awesome. Definitely someone to Google if that's your sector. Okay. What would your Braveheart war cry be?
My Braveheart war cry? Oh, you're giving me all these...
It's hard questions. Every time, I'm sorry, my quick fire questions are not quick fire.
They're not quite... Braveheart war cry. Everything's hard before it's easy.
Okay, nice. Lead from the front or lead from the back?
Lead from the front.
Okay. Biggest leadership challenge?
Oh, again, being patient. I'm good with horses and rubbish with people. Yeah.
Okay. And best feeling as a leader?
The best feeling as a leader is being able to make a change and see a difference. And for me, that's the difference in the horse-human partnership, and it's seeing the difference in the human when they come on the journey. It's like, oh my God, my heart, it makes me feel so good. And to see the horses change too. Yeah. I can really read and understand when the horses are so grateful that someone's shown up who understands what's going on. Yeah. So it's a really nice feeling. I'm lucky doing the work I do.
Yeah, definitely. And that was kind of what we all saw in you kind of before you got selected, and then when you did. Yeah. From your TED Talk is just like so much passion and how much you loved making that difference. Yeah. And then all it was like you had it there, and all it was just crafting it.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, should we delve into our actual main discussion? Yeah. I'm gonna let you open it up, because I think you've got an example, haven't you, about this balance of someone you've been working with from a horse behaviour point of view. Yeah. But already seeing how it's translating into other areas of that person's life.
So the lady that I'm talking about is, she runs a team in a hotel over near Heathrow, and she was telling me how she feels undervalued, that the big cheese on top of her has told her own boss has told her she doesn't see any leadership qualities in her. And I think, well, that's a pretty bad thing to say to somebody who already has a team of 24. And she came to visit me at my horse place, and so
for horse reason.
For a social. It was for a sociable thing.
Okay.
And we got talking, and I said, well, come and see the horses. Let's see the horses. And she said, oh, I'm not too sure. I don't know anything about horses. So, well, there was a opening for me, because I was able to explain to her what motivates horses, and not all horses are motivated by the same thing. So I don't know for your leaders, your viewers, if I just say the 4 motivating factors are comfort, safety, food, and play. Those are the 4 main things, okay? And not all horses are, as I said before, not motivated by the same thing. So it's my job is to allow the horse to reveal itself, so I can understand, right, that's what motivates you. Because in my TED Talk, I talk about force and brute. It doesn't work. So, and it's not in line with what the horse, his hierarchy of needs, it's not in line with him. So if we're going to do the job properly, we want our equestrian partner, our horse, to actually want to do things for us. That's the trick. That's the trick in leadership as well, to get your team to want to be in your team. And working with people, I'm never really very good at that, because I work like a slave, and when other people don't quite meet my moral code, that's the area that I struggle with. But of course, that's not the work I do. The work I do is with the horses. So I have this lady on the end of a line, and I mess with them a little bit. I'm a bit naughty, and I just, I ask my horses to go back just by energy, okay? And so I like to play the copying game as well. So I have one horse, and I show her I can back my horse up 10 paces, let's say, just by looking, just by my energy, because the horse understands body language. So we're clocked onto each other. And then they have another one of my horses, and I said, come on, can you do the same? And it's hilarious. They laugh, I laugh, because of course they can't. And then we have a little chat about what motivates the horse that they have. Horses hate weakness. They don't like it. And so now when she understands, and then you see this lady I'm thinking of, she's like, I got him to go back. That was really good. And then we were able to translate that into her team. And I asked her to get herself a little black book, and I said I thought she would find it really helpful. If she's got 24 people who run the hotel with her in her team, to actually find out, why are they there? What motivates them? Oh, Johnny, what's the favourite thing you like about your job? Oh, Julie, why is it that you're here? What made you pick this job? And actually, when your team hear that you are hearing them, when they understand you're hearing them, things can change, because then people start to feel valued. And it's not like you're not the boss. I talk in my TED Talk, leader and boss, they just conjure up completely different feelings, don't they?
Definitely.
I mean, like, boss, I used to be the boss of my horses, like I said, my way or the highway. I'm still a bit like that with people, but that's an area I'm working on. But my way or the highway just doesn't work. It doesn't get the best out of people. It doesn't get anything out of our horses. So that's how, and whether or not she went away and got her little black book and wrote those things down, I don't really know, because I haven't heard from her. But maybe I should make a follow-up call as a result of this.
Nice. Do you think, and I guess now we're kind of talking more on opinion-based, because I know your specialty is obviously in the horses. But would you say that we could categorise those 4 areas kind of for humans a little bit as well?
Totally, because some people are motivated by money. They have to pay the bills. They are only there because of the money.
And that falls into security, would you say?
Security and comfort, because suddenly, no roof over your head, not looking too comfortable, is it? Other people are motivated by appreciation. They like words of appreciation. Oh my God, you've done the best job. Thank you so much for setting that room for me. That's absolutely brilliant. So it's just recognising. And if the boss or the leader took time to find out what motivated each single one, that's quite a big job to do if you've got 24 people in your team, isn't it? And actually make a point. I said to her, be vulnerable with them and say, hey, we've worked together all this amount of time, and I know nothing about you, so I'm going to find out.
Yeah.
You know, like there's nothing wrong with being vulnerable. It's a strength.
Yeah,
I used to
definitely.
think vulnerability was a weakness, but I was so vulnerable on that TED stage. I'm over it now. It's a strength.
And that's what really,
being authentic.
Definitely. And I think that's what people heard and felt. And that was something kind of us talking, going, it was when you were the most vulnerable or sharing the most authentically that, for me personally anyway, listening to you, that's where I went, you're just like transfixed, and then you're on board for the rest of the journey, because you get the impact, don't you? Do you think, is there any element where that kind of vulnerability comes in for the horse? Because you said horses, like, they hate weakness. So where does that play in? Because humans, we say about vulnerability, and there's been lots of TED Talks and tons of stuff about vulnerability is good. How is that contrast in horses?
It's not.
No?
It's not. Because a prey animal can't be vulnerable. If a prey animal is vulnerable, he doesn't feel safe. Remember, a prey animal, I say in my talk, his eyes are on the side of his head, so he can see everything, so he's looking. So if he doesn't feel safe in the leader, he'll always feel vulnerable. And then they're running on anxiety, they're running on anxious. If you see a horse moving around, he's got to move his mind before he can move his feet. And I don't want to be on a horse that's mind is all over the place. I want to be on a horse or with a horse that's just like, everything's cool.
What about you showing vulnerability? Like, because we said about humans, it's good for the leader to show vulnerability. How does that translate for horses? Like,
if I'm a leader and I'm vulnerable with the horse, that doesn't work.
That doesn't work.
No, I have to prove to them, that I'm not going to eat them. that's the thing, you know, beyond a shadow of a doubt. It's the most intimate thing we can do with the horse, is to swing our leg over its back to ride it. So first of all, I have to have permission, you know, and then when I'm on, if I'm feeling any sense of vulnerability, that is very shaky for the horse. They don't feel confident in my leadership. So in my experience, having a vulnerable horse, they don't like it. It's not something I would want to ride. Put it that way.
Okay, so is that the different? Maybe we've said there are lots of similarities, but this is where there's a specific difference.
I think you
because
could say
they're
that.
Prey predator versus.
It's the instinct is completely different, isn't it? And I talk in my talk there, you know, like the predatorial instinct. We're very tight. We hang on tight. Everything goes tight, and we're very slow to let go. Well, the horses, they gone. They just go first, and then they turn and look. And it's those opposing instincts. That is the number one reason for the disharmony. That's the number one, because it's an instinct. So I have to learn, when I'm with my horses, to manage my instinct. So that's really going against something that's actually instinctive in me.
Designed to protect you. Designed to protect them. Is there anything about instinct that you've learnt from the horses that you think could apply to humans as well?
How do you mean? What do you mean? How do you mean?
I don't know. I guess we've talked about vulnerability, and it's our instinct to not be vulnerable. But in humans, it's human. It's beneficial, isn't it?
But we're so guarded that we don't want people to see our true self, but the horse will see our true self. And I never understood what the hell that meant when they said, well, the horse can see your true self. Yeah, you show up and you have a bad day, the horse will leave too.
Okay, so maybe, is it about, maybe the word, a better word in this context that we're talking about is authenticity? Because we talk about, because when you're vulnerable, as a human to another human, and you're vulnerable, you're being authentic. Whereas a horse can sense when you're being inauthentic. They know when you don't really mean it, because they can read your energy too. A horse will, if a person is I don't do work in equine assisted therapy. I don't do that work, but I work with people who do. So I'm not really the person that's really qualified to talk on that, because I don't have psychology degrees. I may have spent 4 years with a psychotherapist, but I am not one. So I can't really talk about that from that viewpoint. That would be a different talk for a different day. But I have observed that when people are hurting inside a bit, that the horses will sort of move in there and make a connection. And I don't really understand that myself, because I look at it from the horse's point of view. So I do know that horses do help people when they're feeling, you know, their woes and worries. But I don't think you can get much with a horse if you turn up and you're feeling weak and worried or hurt or whatever. You can't actually
lead the horse when you're in that position. And since it's a talk about leadership, I think that's probably the point.
But that doesn't mean that there isn't a connection.
No, there is a connection.
Okay.
Yeah, because there's a lot of work being done with, it's called equine assisted learning therapy. I did look into doing that, but my work is really connecting the human and the horse so that the human understands about their role as a leader.
Okay, that definitely makes it more clear that where there is the human horse similarities, connection as a separate thing to leadership. So interesting. Okay, and
not my field. That's not my field.
That's fine. That's cool. And is there? So, what would you say then? What would be your take-home messages that you think people can apply, like that you've learned for horses, that you would recommend anyone watching can apply to their life or their leadership?
I said at the beginning, I'll say it again. It's all about understanding what motivates your team. So understand, if it's your partner, if it's your team, I know how I operate when I'm feeling appreciated. And when I know how I operate when I'm feeling unappreciated. So maybe you could take that to yourself and just think, if that's helpful or not. Just know what motivates your team.
I definitely agree with that. Know what motivates yourself and them. Absolutely. Okay. Kathy, if people want to see and hear more about you, the work you do, where can they find info about you online?
Oh, that's a nice question.
If an easy one, hopefully.
An easy one, If you would like to, I'm on the social media platform of Facebook and YouTube. I have a YouTube channel. There's more videos being uploaded there. My Facebook page is The Horseback Heroine, as is my YouTube channel, and my website is thehorsebackheroine.co.uk, and there's lots of wealth of information which I have a responsibility to share now, so it's the thing I love doing. I'm very lucky to do what I do. So
that's awesome. Kathy, it's been wonderful chatting. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Lou. Thanks for having me. It's really nice of you to have me. Good. Hope that's been helpful.
Definitely. See you later.
Bye.